You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. It's education and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. It's January the 26th, 2022. And we are live and in person and are coming to you from the Pace Radio Network's Facebook and YouTube pages. I'm Al Graham, and as you can see, Kim Cooper is here, and we have a guest who is a grassroots advocate. But before we learn more, as always, Kim and I are going to discuss some news and have a quick chit-chat. Well, Kim, how's things going?
Absolutely. It's pretty good. You know, I love sitting here with the new video feed and the opening plays, and I'm sitting here and I'm just jamming out to the Killing Time band during our opening. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yes. It's always good to hear them. There's no doubt about that. And you know,
Absolutely.
That song. Yeah, and that's one hell of a song. It's one of those songs that it pulls some heartstrings, I'll tell you.
It
no
does.
Doubt about that.
It does every time.
Exactly. So, any weather updates? Anything frozen pipe stories? No hurricanes?
We're in the frozen tundra up here, man. We're going into our third week of like consecutive days with minus 40 and minus 45 actual temps. Not the feels like are beyond that. And yeah, actual temps this January have been freaking brutal in the north. Just brutal. Another cold snap that we're in now. We woke up this morning with minus 41.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Now, the last I was talking to you, I believe you had frozen pipes. Did you ever get that straightened out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
No, I've still got frozen pipes. My plumber that I'm using turns out is a follower of ours, and I've decided to go with him just because he is a follower of ours and everything, but he's not available. He's on a job until Friday, so he's here on Friday, and I will have thawed pipes on Friday.
Good stuff. Good. Yeah, that's awful hard. That's hard to protect when you're in that situation you are, and you know, in a temporary living situation and relying on basically hay, right, to insulate that stuff.
Yeah, we've got a hay skirt around a mobile home. So there's a crawl space gap, you know, between us and the ground, and that's where the pipes are.
Yeah.
And minus 40, yeah, no, they don't like that.
No, exactly. All right, well, why don't we get into our news? It's the first time we've done news this way with the Pace Radio Show, but we will do that. All right. We got a news story as always.
Yeah.
But these days we can show people the news.
It disappeared.
Story. Yeah, I know. I put it the other way.
This is very cool. Usually we just read it.
Yeah, that's right. Usually we just read it.
It's back. Look at that. And we're talking Timmins.
That's right. Well, hey, you know, you haven't done some cannabis news in a while because, you know, you're on the psychedelic reporter end of things now. So, so this is some cannabis news, and this is local to you. This is in Timmins.
This is in Timmins, my old stomping grounds. We, of course, did live in Timmins for several years during our travels here throughout the north. And I hosted the very first ever Timmins 420 in that city. And that ran for 3 consecutive years before COVID happened. And then we had to shut everything down, of course.
Right.
But yeah, Timmins is in the news. We got weed stores in Timmins, and the city has some concerns.
Yeah, they right now they say there's 5 stores. and there's 5 more in the applications process. That's going to end up with like 10 stores. So, but they say that this, here that the stores are popping up across the province, and industry insiders say that there is still ways to go before the market is completely saturated.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they said that, there's been an illicit and black market trade over time, and, longstanding suppliers are going away, haven't gone away yet, and they're still there and strong, and competition forces out there, and they think more stores will help the situation. But the city of Timmins, they kind of want in on this, but they want in on this to be able to regulate how many stores the city actually sees.
Yes, yeah. It says here in Timmins, a city of approximately 42,000 people, there are now 5 brick and mortar cannabis stores and 5 approved applications. And they say there are a lot of stores coming to life rapidly in Ontario because of the way that Doug Ford decided to handle it, according to Smitherman, who is a former
Yeah,
Liberal
yeah,
minister.
yeah. Smitherman, how many people did he put in jail? Um,
Mm.
yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, the city is looking for more governance on this. Of course, Ontario pivoted its plan from privatization into the public hands, and cities could opt in and out. And choose whether or not they wanted to allow stores. But once you opt in, that's it. You've opted in.
Right.
You no longer have any say. You don't have any control about how many stores will pop up in your city. And this is what Timmins has a problem with, apparently. They'd like more control over that.
Yeah, they would like more control over that, and they're not the only one. I know there's a community near me that opted in, and they presently have 3 stores they've had 3 in the process. There's 1 that's open, and there's 2 more in the process, and people are already complaining about the number of the stores. But what have the stores done other than become popular? What have they done in order to be required to be controlled as far as their numbers go? Like I can see where
Yeah.
some communities,
Yeah.
want to have control over, where they're located, but why not allow the market to decide who stays and who goes?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's my big thing with the city of Timmins here, and that's what I'm going to tell them right now. You know, you don't have control over how many LCBOs open up in your town. You have
They
no
don't
say
even have a
over that. You
say.
have no
They have to
control.
allow them.
No,
They have to allow them.
they have to allow them. They're provincially operated. It's the same for the beer store. It's the same for every grocery store in that city that sells alcohol. We have corner stores en masse at literally every
Yeah.
corner of the city
Pizza
selling
shops.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
You don't get to say how many stores there are in your city for anything. And as far as it goes, I mean, I can almost give a township, a small town, say. I lived in the town of Kirkland Lake. I currently live in a town called Englehart. You're talking less than 5,000 people, 10,000 people. Okay, a little tiny town. Maybe you want to have a little bit of say. I can almost understand the apprehension with that. Timmins is a city. It's not a town. It's a city, like
Yeah. My
any other
situation is
city.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's a city like any other city. They have suburbs and they have neighborhoods. The market, as you say, will dictate if the store
Yeah.
can survive with competition and with customer base, and there's 10 of them and they can all 10 survive, then that means all 10 of them are wanted and needed there.
Yeah.
And the
And
city shouldn't have
and
any control over that.
they are supposed to be in the retail area, and that's where they
Yeah,
are. Well,
yeah,
so that's not something I have to deal with here in the town that I live in, but it still happens around me, right? Especially in the places where I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
live. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all by this news from the city of Timmins. They have a mayor in that town now that was elected in just as I was departing the city, and well, he's a businessman. I like to compare him to Trump a lot.
oh yeah.
Yes, George Peary, in the city of Timmins. He's a business guy, and so this sort of news doesn't really surprise me coming from there now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. Goodbye, Timmins. There we go. All right. All right. Just so you know, we got a comment coming in here. Carolyn says hi.
Hi, doll.
All right. Well, what do you say? Time to bring in our guest?
Absolutely. I'm excited for tonight. I haven't gotten together with this lady for far too long because of our current situation and, of course, not going out to events anymore. But man, we would get together at pretty much every event that was available in Ontario that I traveled to, and I always had a blast. Love this
Yeah,
lady.
I'd run
It's
into
going to
her
be
quite
great.
often, and you know, it wasn't always cannabis events either. Sometimes it was something completely unexpected, out of the
Yeah,
blue. All of a sudden, she was there.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, all right. Well, at this time, we'd like to introduce our guest, the person who I said earlier is a grassroots advocate. We'd like to welcome Danielle Degeer to the Pace Radio Show. Welcome, Danielle. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. How are you guys tonight?
Good, good. And yourself?
You guys
Good.
are too kind to me. I mean, as you were starting to describe our relationships, I thought, wow, I mean, Tim and I, there's been so many events. And then, Al, you go right back to the hydroponic store that I started in.
Yeah. Quite a ways back.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah.
There you go. You're
It's been a
steady.
long
You're not.
time and a long road, man.
And she's just trying to get her camera angle set up there. Just got to get
There
your
we go.
face down. Maybe just tilt your camera up a little bit so we can get above her
Just a
eyes because we
little
just
bit.
got her forehead. We just got her forehead. There you go. That's
There
a
we
little
go.
better. It's a little better. There you go. It's different. But well, as we get started here as normal, I'll let you know I'm gonna pass you over to Kim. Kim's got some questions that she's gonna throw at you. I always just join in along the way and let everybody know when the commercials are running. I'll run that stuff. And
Yeah.
as people comment, if comments come up, we'll throw them up too, just as you saw there during the show, during the intro. So, alrighty,
Absolutely.
over to you,
All right.
Kim.
It's up to me. Now back to me. Awesome to have you here, Danielle. Miss Dabs, as you're known in the community. You were one of the first people to start dabbing. I got introduced to it through Gary Pallister, but you were one of the first people that I met that was dabbing, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And you adopted the name Miss Dabs, and you wear it proudly. And I owe my journey through dabbing a lot to you because that got my curiosity piqued. I was like, oh no, I need to find out more about this. So thanks for that.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Danielle, you've been in the cannabis community for a very, very long time. You touched a little bit on the hydroponic store. Well, I first met you years and years ago. For those that are our listeners and our watchers out there that don't know who you are, give us a bit of background on you. How did you become so entrenched in the cannabis community? How did you become a cannabis advocate and activist and get to be where you are today? Give us the backstory.
So I was always intrigued with cannabis. It was always part of my life, per se, for the most part. And ended up, my sister moved next to this very interesting lady, Grandma D at the time, she was called, and she knew a lot of people in the community. So she kind of introduced me to a lot of the different people in the community and got me involved. And then I met Bong Man and Chelsea and all of those amazing people in Toronto. And I was very interested and intrigued with everything that they had going on, and Bong Man getting all the attention to all you great people that had so much amazing things to say and actually speak. Because I mean, as you can see, I don't speak well, but I was always really good at drawing attention to all those people that could get the really good words that we needed to get out about what we needed for our freedom and our rights and everything when it came to cannabis. And doing that, I kind of went to Bongman and said, "I want to do this with you, buddy. What? Maybe you need Miss Dabs along the way," because at the time dabbing wasn't legal, and I really wanted it to be. I thought, why not? We're taking one thing that's not illegal and another thing that's not illegal and making something that works for us. I mean, if it's, then why should it be any different than juicing it, or so I decided to bring more attention to dabbing and with the Miss Dabs character, and I mean, just had fun doing it.
Yeah. And
I can remember
the costumes, the cape and the costumes. Oh, fantastic. They're just so awesome.
Yeah, I can remember that would be the first time that I believe I saw you, and then come along with the hydroponic store. But seeing you dressed up with your, I don't know what you want to call it, costume, outfit, whatever. But it brings attention. So
yeah, it was 12 years just doing the costume and the activism stuff and everything, and then quickly revolved my work life around it with every job, from the hydroponic store, and then there was a few different dispensaries and a few other different places that I worked along the way to keep me going in the cannabis, a nice grow area that I worked at as well, and kept it mainly in corporate for my life.
Yeah. You threw yourself right into it. A lot of people are activists, and, they got into activism and they're there for the marches and all the rest of it. And then they get up Monday morning and they put their suit on and they go to work. You said, no. If I'm doing this, I'm doing it. And I'm going to live it. I'm going to breathe it. I'm going to eat it. It's going to be my life. And you dove right in.
Yeah. And I mean, I've raised my child to the exact same, that this is mommy's medicine. And I have never hidden anything from her. And I think that was a lot of why I wanted it to be my medicine, so that I could actually say that to the child.
You're telling her the truth from the beginning, telling her it's a mess. And you're not hiding in a way like where the government now requires the stores to hide it from anybody outside of that, on the other side of the glass. Like, why not be honest with the kids?
Yeah, and then they probably wouldn't be. So my child has never, ever, ever touched any medicine of mine. She has looked at something and went, "Oh, does that have your medicine in it?" Okay, and walked away. But it's because she's already of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I did the same thing, Danielle. I raised my 3 kids, and cannabis was on the living room coffee table. They grew up seeing it and seeing mommy use it, and it was mommy's meds. And they never questioned it. They didn't turn into, going and trying to find drugs in high school and all this kind of stuff. That never happened. My oldest girl, she's 37 years old now. She doesn't even really like it. She did it a few times when she was younger, and she's like, no interest at all. The other 2 are medicinal consumers now for their own reasons, and that's where that went. But they grew up with it around the house, so it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't attractive. It wasn't something that they needed to gravitate towards.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping with her, raising her like that, that's how it would be in her mindset. And I mean, she's 12 and very well educated about different. I mean, very well educated about a lot of just the medicinal side of things. Actually, she has come up to me and, oh, Mom, what's the difference between THC and CBD? So I mean, it's interesting for a child to ask, but I mean, for me to be able to sit and talk to her about all that is pretty cool.
That's right.
You're
Exactly.
advancing her education.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, natural therapy and natural plant medicine. Why can't that be part of our education? That should be
Yeah.
part of our education.
My kids were already adults and out of the house, almost out of the house by the time when I got licensed. But my grandkids, they know it's Papa's medicine. We teach them that. So they know that.
Yeah.
And they're going to be smarter.
And they know that medicine, you don't touch medicine no matter what it is, whether it's herbal medicine or whether it's a medicine that's in a bottle.
Yeah, it's not cool to take medicine. So,
no.
Yeah. So, we educate them. Let them know what's going on.
Exactly. So your first job, you went and you wound up getting a job in the cannabis community. That was at a hydroponics store. What did you think walking in the door of that place? I guess you got a whirlwind education on growing, eh?
Yes, very much so. I knew little to nothing about growing at the time when I went in there. A good friend of mine actually owned the store, so yeah, I very quickly learned a lot about growing and different ways. And actually, a lot of it that I learned, yes, was from the products that I had to read, but more so from the people that came in, and they would share their stories and their grow info and what they do. I'd retain it and listen to it and then pass it along to the next people that came in if they had similar issues. And then I had smart people like Al that would come in, so we'd pick his brain.
Yeah, Danielle would, there was Treating Yourself magazine, grassroots magazines that were being delivered to the store, the hydroponic store, which is now, I think it's a dispensary now.
Yeah, it is. It was a Green Girl.
That's the one up in the Green Mile, right?
Oh yeah, in Alderville. It used to be called Green Tree Eco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went on tour there. There, and we talked to the fellow there with you while I was on tour there a couple of years back.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
more than likely, yeah. They also held some documentary movies that I was doing, and they had the Hungry Hippie, which was going to be a vapor lounge, and it was all going to go. Yeah, we had some good stuff playing going on there. The memory still comes up on Facebook.
They're good people. I mean,
I
periodically say hello to them as well, right? I mean, not as often as I'd like because I'm not in that area so much anymore, but.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. For a little.
Absolutely.
And
you floated around in the cannabis community, working different jobs, dispensaries, going into the dispensary unit. I mean, growing, now there's an education, but dispensary, especially an Indigenous dispensary where there are no regulations, there are no laws that anybody's following. This was an underground dispensary or gray market or a legacy market or whatever term you want to use for it, pre-legalization. So product line, I mean, everything that you must have had to learn.
And it was talking to the people and like actually getting it was the elderly people too, talking to them and getting to talk to them and like once I had learned and retained, because they'd come in with some information I wouldn't necessarily know it all, and I'd go, I'll get back to you on that, come back in a few days, and they would. And I mean, that was an experience all on its own, a very fulfilling job. I very much enjoyed that, getting to work one-on-one with actually people, again, teaching them and educating them and learning and teaching them what I learned. And I mean, that was a lot of fun. So.
And that's
Sharing
a
the knowledge.
misconception I think that a lot of people have about original legacy market dispensaries. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a pot store. You're just selling pot to pot heads, this and that. The original, native land dispensaries, they were there for medicine. And the majority of the people that use those suppliers were patients.
Yeah, and the elderly that walked through that door blew my mind. More so than not, it was elderly that were coming in. You get your younger, the mid-20s in there that were coming in as well, but more so than not, it was the elderly coming in for not to get stoned, just so they would feel
Yeah.
better.
Medicine.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, so many
Yeah,
people think that,
medicine.
so many people thought it was older people that were always negative towards
Yeah.
cannabis. And yes, there is a group of them there. But, you know, from doing the treating yourself days, seniors were the ones that were coming to the booth, to the table, you know, to talk about cannabis. And like, so it would be the same thing with the dispensaries. Yeah, and at least they were the ones that were asking us for samples. You know, at least there at the dispensaries they could get them. Right?
Free samples.
Yeah.
Well, when we actually got to set out the free samples, I guess they're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, not in the
No.
stores. No. Well, actually,
No.
I had one place that I went into in obviously not in Marmor. We don't have a store, but they gave me a drink that had no THC in it. It was just a sample to give you an idea of what the flavor would be like, and it was a malt to be like a beer, to taste like a beer, but not be a beer because there's no alcohol in it, right? But it was a malt flavored. But I haven't drank it. It's just sitting in
Do
the
they
fridge.
serve just gonna throw this out here, okay? Just
Sure.
because this is one of the bones of contentions that I have about this entire friggin' thing. You get to taste this sample that's THC free, right? So they've removed the THC or not put it in the base drink to start with. Do they serve you wine flavored grape juice in the LCBO when they're giving away samples, or that's alcohol, right?
Here are some Welch's. Yeah. Oh, wow. I don't know.
You know,
Yes, exactly.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
ah.
Exactly. You know.
We still have a ways to go, folks. We still
Oh,
have a
yeah,
ways
yeah.
to go.
Well, you know, they have, like, I've gone to shows, you know, National Women's Show, and they've had wine sampling there at the trade show.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's
why
not
not?
alcohol free.
Yeah, they could have, you know, now that there's beverages and stuff like that, there's no reason why they can't have given out beverage samples, just like they give out wine samples.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's no,
That's right.
yeah, you know, you can have a cannabis tent if you have a beer tent. Why can't you have a cannabis tent? Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Those are
got a
things
ways
we have to
go.
work on.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
All right,
it's
we
funny, Danielle. I had a conversation with a couple of people that are relatively new in the cannabis scene. We're talking under 10 years, under maybe 5 years or so. But they're in the cannabis scene, and they talk to me about venues that they've gone to, and they're all like, oh, did you see that whole little group of senior citizens coming up and asking questions? Oh, that was hilarious. And I'm kind of looking at them going, that's been happening for 30 years. It's not new.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're all shocked that it's seniors, and I think the newer up and coming professionals in this business seem to have this idea in their head that seniors aren't interested. That couldn't be further from the truth.
No, not at all. No, not from what I've seen. And actually, where I'm at now, I have customers, like a gentleman, not customers because we do a lot more wholesaling and things, but because my boss was such educated, kind-hearted person. He has had stage 4 cancer that he cured himself of with no medical attention by our doctor system.
Wow.
It was diet and RSO. And so that's what our company, like where I work now, he backs that, which is great because I was introduced to the community with RSO and someone that was taking it on a regular to get rid of cancer. And now I'm back at a place working for someone with fully backing and fully ramming forward RSO coming back into play, full spectrum being in our bodies, the actual medicinal side of things. So, I mean, it's been quite an experience. Yeah, now
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to find out more about this company. Like you say, full circle, the big swing is going back into RSO. You know, we've had a lot of products pop up over the years, people going to, you know, distillates and isolates and this kind of thing, you know, infusions with single cannabinoid therapy instead of whole plant remedy. And there is a giant push to go back to whole plant remedy. And I am so thrilled to see that. I'm excited to talk to you about the company that you are at now and all the products that you're making, but I can see out of the corner of my eye Mr. Al Graham over there biting at the bit going, oh, okay, but we gotta pay some bills.
That's right, great time to pay some bills. That's what it says right there. Yeah, exactly. When we return, Kim and I will continue our talk with Danielle Degeer. This is the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook and YouTube pages. Plus, we'll be podcasted afterwards at paceradio.net. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
The Pace Radio Network is the place to be for all your information from the world of psychedelics because we are pleased to bring our listeners 2 shows focusing on psychedelic therapy in the world of natural medicine. First up, we have Open Your Eye, which airs on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month. Open Your Eye is a 90-minute video podcast with Kim Cooper and Cindy Howell interviewing patients and professionals in the space. Patient stories, facilitators, lawyers, and others discuss their journeys and endeavors involving psychedelic medicine. But they're not done, because Kim and Cindy are back on alternate Tuesdays at 7 p.m. with psychedelic reporters as they bring along the show's mascot, Bufo, aka the Colorado Mud Toad, who is scouring the news wires for all the latest in psychedelic news. He then passes it on to Kim and Cindy to cover in this 60-minute video news podcast. So tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Psychedelic Tuesdays right here on the Pace Radio Network, found at paceradio.net.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
CTCP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888. And grow on with CTCP.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net. Hey, welcome back. You're watching or listening to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook and YouTube pages. But if you missed the live shows, you can always catch the video and the audio podcast. Both of them are available at paceradio.net. Today in the program, as you can see, Kim Cooper is here. Get it that way. There we go. As well as we are joined by our guest, Danielle Degeer. Well, Danielle, we got through the first half hour. We got another half hour to go. We got another hour to go, but next segment's only 30 minutes.
Yeah. 30 minutes at a time. 30 minutes at a time.
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, we don't have to take the breaks to medicate because really we just do it just during the broadcast.
We just do it here. Well, I like playing my little game, you know. We have a 4-minute and 20-second commercial break, and it's like, how many dabs can you do in 4 minutes and 20 seconds?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Kim, in the past, when we were doing the show just strictly on radio, you know, you could mute yourself. And, you know, so you wouldn't,
I know.
people wouldn't hear you coughing when we came back live, but now they can see you.
Now they see me, so there's no point. I'm done.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Video is very different. It is very different. That's for sure.
You know, I wish it would allow me to tell which screen to go large because I have to move Danielle. There we go.
Yeah.
So that I can get her to do. There we go.
To go enlarge.
I'd rather her be down here where I am. But yeah, I'd rather her be where I am. But right now, this is where I need her.
Yeah, that's where we need her. Yeah, because we're back on the focus on Danielle.
That's right.
So
So before the break, we were about to talk about your current place of employment. I've been watching what's been going on over there, and it's pretty cool. Right now, you're working on the holiday line, and of course, Valentine's Day is coming up, the day for lovers. And you guys have got a product line that you're coming out with that's Belgian chocolate. I want to talk about that, but first, let's get the background on the company that you're with. What's the name of the company? And let's talk about RSO Infusions.
So the name of the company is Stone Leaf. We also have Third Party Labs, which is a testing facility. But Stone Leaf is a wholesale company, which is where we make all of the wonderful, yummy products that I've been having so much fun making for the last, 10 months now, almost a year. It's coming up to. And there's
Yeah.
You've been doing this. Wow. So obviously you guys make more than just these holiday Belgian chocolates.
Yes. Well, I don't have a lot of the stuff here. I do have one of the, if I can make it out of here, one of our old products that the last holiday line that we did, Stone Leaf had put out.
Nice.
Oh, those are Avatar calendars.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
People are
calendars
always
are
looking for
fun. You get to
those.
open a window. Yeah, you get to open a new window every day, the advent calendar. But cannabis.
Yeah.
right. So we do all of the holiday lines on top of the regular lines, which regular lines is any of our RSO infused tinctures, any of our moon rockets is RSO painted and teeth. So he does focus a lot on RSO or CBD line, most particularly.
Medicinal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have the 14 days of Valentine's Advent calendar coming up?
We don't have a 14-day Advent calendar. However, a 24 hours of 420 calendar.
Oh.
Now that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yes,
good.
it sure does.
Yeah, and I mean, so yeah, we do a lot of different products. We did start making some RSO infused gummies as well, but we are sticking to our Belgium chocolate line right now because that is blowing up and going out the window, and that is keeping us
Yeah,
very busy.
everybody loves the chocolate.
Very,
Everybody
very-
loves the chocolate, right? I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
All of these are
Yeah.
small handmade batches. They're not made in a big machine. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Made with love.
Yeah. Very nice.
Made with love makes a big difference when it's made with love.
Yeah, made with your hands.
Yeah, particularly we make sure that I watch the chocolate, actually the RSO getting completely bound into the chocolate properly. So it's nice when you get consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is so important. I mean, you can't just toss all the ingredients into a mixer and expect it to come out evenly. We're talking about medicinal values here and being able to gauge the milligrammage and so forth. When it's not mixed and bound properly, that makes one hell of a difference in the end product, eh?
Yes, large. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that your company that you're with is focusing on the RSO. So you guys being a wholesaler, you must see a demand coming back for that. As orders are more dispensaries looking for these types of products over where before they seemed to all gravitate towards the isolates and the distillates, and they want just THC distillate infused over RSO became very popular for a while. And do we see that gravitation coming back to RSO?
We're starting to notice it. I mean, I really do remember the 2-3 years where it has been nothing but distillate, isolate, and everybody getting lost in the high THC factors and nothing more, things like that, and forgetting about all the other compounds that we really do need in order for the plant to be as wonderful as it is right now.
Yeah, as some say, even right down to that chlorophyll, even though everybody hates it, there is still benefits.
There's a reason for it. There's reasons for it. It all binds together as one. I mean, it's like, having multiple wheels on a tractor trailer. If one falls off, it doesn't run right.
Yeah, exactly. It's still mobile, but it's moving a little slower.
You need all the wheels. That's it. You need all them wheels on there in order for it to run smoothly and perform the way it's supposed to. Isolating these compounds, I was never a big fan of it. I do think there's a place for some of the distillates as a medicine for certain things. Distillates, I think, are handy for perhaps boosting the THC factors in an RSO. But I'm not a fan and never have been of isolates. You've crossed a line when you've gone into the crystalline form of these compounds, and they're no longer a natural element in my brain.
Well, we won't even get into the yeast end of things.
Yeah,
we won't even get into the
you've crossed
yeast
the
end of
line.
things. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So I mean, I think there maybe is a place for some of these, the distillates and that. I'm against the isolates though. I think they're dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I don't even like it unless it's a full spectrum for the most part. I mean, people have
Yeah.
given me like I've smoked diamonds, I've smoked that stuff, but I'll turn around and have to mix it with something that I know got more than just the THC in it
Yeah.
in order for it to be
Yeah.
beneficial or long lasting or any of the things that I need.
Yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
some people, like Kim, you've been able to switch, basically go to just dabbing, whereas some people,
Yeah.
dabbing is something that is part of, but they always end up going back to the cannabis end of things, the whole
Yeah. My
plant.
primary source now is dabs. But my
Yeah.
preference for my only thing that my isolation for dabs now is live resin.
Yeah.
So it's whole plant,
Yeah.
and it's whole plant, and it's a living plant. It's not been dehydrated. It's not been terpenes have not been damaged. Compounds have not disintegrated due to over drying or anything like that. You pull the plant out of the ground, you freeze it, and you extract it. As it's whole plant and it's fresh, and you've got the higher concentrations of all of the cannabinoids in there.
Maybe you can't get any fresher than pulling it out of the ground and throwing it in the freezer.
Heck no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my preference, is the live resin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy that I'm falling back into play with people that are back on the medicinal end of things and on the whole plant matter and
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Working with
I'm with you. I got caught up in it too.
Oh,
yeah, and I got caught
yeah.
up in it too. I mean, it was a little train that sort of bolted out of the station, and everybody went, "Yeah, sure," and we all just went, "Woof!"
The
Right?
newest thing.
And
The newest
what's
thing.
this? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it was the newest thing. Yeah, I got to be in on this, and that. But after a little while of that, it's like I started noticing stuff in my own makeup, my health makeup. I started noticing stuff. It's like, why is this happening all of a sudden? And it's because we knocked a few of the wheels off the bus. We weren't getting those compounds from the cannabis plant that our bodies were relying on to create homeostasis. They vanished. When a lot of these isolates and distillates came out. I mean, I got on the distillate bandwagon for a while. I was infusing everything with distillate, and I was like, yeah, just THC. Yeah, you're gonna get blasted on this, right? And you get caught up, eh? And but I've gravitated away from that. I still use distillates, but now I use them to boost my RSO.
Yeah.
So I've got a higher THC concentration in my RSO.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm trying to boost that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you need the RSO. You've got to have it.
Oh yeah. You gotta. It's all part of it. It's all part of the, as they say, synergy. And it's the same as your pill medicine. If there's something that they take chemically out of that pill, and I'm not talking about the wax for the fillers. I'm talking about the chemical end that's supposed to be helping you internally. They take something out of that, it's different. He's probably got a whole new product name.
Yeah.
Told to something else, to do something else.
Told to do something else.
So
a brand new one, right?
So what else? Yeah. So what else you doing other than the Belgium chocolates? Are you like? Are they just like?
Tell us about some more products.
Well, they do have. We have our gummy line that we make. They've got a whole line of gummies. It's an assortment of gummies, tincture line, CBD capsules, and also tinctures as well. They also have creams that we make there as well. What else do we make? So the glass syringes go out for the RSO. We do like to put any of our products that we make in glass for medical purposes.
Good.
So the moon rockets go out in glass tubes as well.
Moon rockets.
Now that we are starting to ship, because we have an online store that has started, the moon rockets will have to go into a plastic tube for shipping purposes. But when they go out into stores in our packaging over in Shannonville, they get it in glass.
Right. So you're
All
down
right, so
in the Shannonville area, Tyendinaga territory?
Yeah.
Sorry. Right on.
So
Right on.
so you're gonna have
around
so you
down
got an online store where people can go.
Yes, so the online is actually greenvalley.co is the online store. And I mean, if anybody does want to go check it out and they see any of the products they like, they can always use Miss Dab's 10 and they get 10% off of their products that they want to pick up if they
Right
want.
on.
There you go. Get yourself a discount, folks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Check out some of the products. I mean, definitely try the chocolate. I very much enjoy it.
Absolutely. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
You're gonna ship to Northern Ontario. I'm on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
sure.
they got
For
they
sure,
got so
for
many
sure, for
stores in Timmins now.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Timmins is still an hour and a half away from me now.
Really? Hey, it's like a drive for me to Toronto almost.
Yeah.
Wow, really? And that's going south. You're heading
Yeah.
south to get to Timmins.
No, north. It's north of me. It's
Oh,
north
is
of
it?
me. It's
Oh,
north of
okay.
me. I moved south. Yeah, I moved south. I moved an hour and a half south. I'm a little closer.
A little closer. So the drive to Toronto was only 9 hours and 45 minutes.
Through the week,
No,
Al.
now I'm down to about 7.5 to 8 hours.
Wow.
If you're in Stephenville, Al, you should stop.
7.5, maybe 8 hours.
Treat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will actually be in the
yeah.
area within the next week or two.
Okay. Stop in and we'll give you a couple of treats. I'd like to give.
All right. All right. And I can even sample them
Right
during
on.
a broadcast. I've done that lately where I've received some things or gotten some things, and I just do them, eat them or drink them during a broadcast.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a it's not really a review, but it's, hey, check this out, So yeah.
Your opinion
Yeah.
on
So
it,
we're
right?
about so you're in Tyendinaga, so you're
Our building is actually right. It's in the same parking lot as the Field of Dreams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're on the left-hand side.
Oh, I know where you are.
Shannonville Road. Yeah.
The wholesale building right there. So the testing facility went in first, so we can also test anybody's cannabis and get a full reading on your cannabinoids in your.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and we test all of our products before using it too. I guess I maybe should have thrown that in there.
Well, you actually did at the very beginning. You did just briefly mention that about it being tested, but it was just a brief thing. So they do like a complete line of testing in the lab there.
Yeah. So you will get your cannabinoid profile with a terpene reading in it as well. We do not do mold or pesticide readings with the machine that they have though. So
right. So you get a certificate of analysis.
Yep.
You can do that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So
good.
So you know exactly what's in it. You know what the cannabinoid profile is. So if you're looking for a medicine that has certain elements, then you'll know whether or not that one's going to fit the bill.
Right. And the owner specifically wanted that because he deals with so many different medical ailments with different people, not his own, and making sure the right cannabinoids is definitely an important part.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. It's so important. A lot of this medicine is cannabinoid specific for sure.
Yeah. And, people are looking as more and more people get involved in this and more people get educated in it. People are being more specific. Like I'm hearing more people talk about CBG now. You know, we went through the CBD end of things, and that's still going on. But now with CBG, more people will be looking for that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I know, we've talked about this many times over the years with various patients and stuff. We've talked to people that say, "Oh, cannabis didn't work for me," and stuff. And it's like, listen, you just didn't find the right strain. Whatever is going on with your individual body is strain specific, and sometimes it can take some work to find the right strain that's going to work for what you need it to do. In my case, I found many strains over the years that would help control various aspects of some of my conditions, but nothing that helped the entire thing. It was like, oh, if I smoke this, then this is what happens and this works and I'm good here. But then later on, I got to smoke this one to make this happen. And then later on, I got to smoke this one to make this happen. And at the end of the day, look, we've covered the bases, but we've had to do it one base at a time, sort of a thing. And consumer for over 40 years, I've smoked a lot of cannabis. So, and, you know, and that's been the way of it. It either didn't work or it only works for part of it. So you've got to mix stuff. You find yourself smoking. Well, we're gonna put this in there, and we're gonna add some hash, and we're gonna cover it in distillate, and we're gonna roll it in keef, and we're gonna okay. There's the joint that might work, right?
Sounds
Right?
Sounds like a Naomi joint.
Yeah, and I mean it's all this kind of shit going on. Sometimes it can take a really long time to find the right strain. And I've always said you need to find the right strain, even though I hadn't for myself yet. I finally did a few years ago. Al knows I smoke one brand of cannabis now, one strain. That's all I smoke. I found it about 3 years ago, and it fixed me. It literally fixed me. It covers all the bases. I don't need anything else. But sometimes it's a struggle to find that. You got to just keep trying strains and document that shit. So important. Write it down because you're not going to remember.
What are you using now, Kim?
Black tuna. Black tuna is my strain. Black tuna is the one that works for me. I went so far as to get it tattooed on my arm. I have every molecule in the black tuna plant tattooed on my arm.
There you go.
I mean, every molecule. I went and I had it analyzed, and I had it imprinted on my arm. I mean, I can go to the geneticist and I can say, hey, make me this. It's been my savior, but finding the right strain, so important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Do you find that people come into the store? I don't know. Do you deal with the customers directly at the store?
We have walk-in customers. We generally deal with the dispensaries and just online stuff. So we'll deal with the 1 or 2 owners or dispensaries that come in. So we'll directly to them.
Okay, because then at that point you're producing the product that's going to the dispensary to be sold. So okay, that was a silly question for me then, wasn't it?
Again, of getting to, there's an older gentleman that actually my through family we've been able to deal with a few one-on-ones, but not very often. But there's an older gentleman that has colon cancer, so he's actually been coming in and getting some help. So I get to work with him kind of one-on-one and helping him and talking him through it. And he's taking 2,000 milligram RSO tincture. He's also taking some capsules that I think he's actually using them as suppositories. And then he's also, and he says he's feeling great. They're saying they're seeing results. So I still get them, but not as often do I get those really cool ones.
And the good news there is he says he's seeing results.
Hey, that's important.
Yeah.
You know, suppositories, I'm not surprised. I mean, I run the gambit with my medicine as well, and it includes suppositories. You know, I use it in all forms, of course, as most patients do. And they work. They work.
Yep.
Bath bombs, suppositories, get it on you. Get it on you and get it in you. If you've got a
Get
hole,
it
put
in you.
cannabis in it.
Well, I never really thought, but when I heard about it, I was like, well, I guess that really does make sense, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the doctors are saying
for sure.
So
Yeah, we had a guest on years ago.
Yeah. Colon cancers.
Yeah, and I remember the first
colon
time we talked to
cancers,
him.
you know, irritable bowel, all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, and you know,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
quick absorption. You know, basically the same idea as putting it under your tongue, but obviously you can increase the dosage because of the fact you're not getting high off of it.
That's right.
You can have a higher dosage by using the suppositories versus consuming it other ways.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
If it doesn't pass through your liver, then you're not getting high. So, yeah, have at it. You can put some high dose medicine that way into your body.
Yeah.
You know, and your body absorbs it through your glands internally, and you do not get high. And your skin is your largest organ in the body, right? I mean, sit your ass in a highly infused tub. You know, it's coming in through your pores. You're not ingesting it through your stomach. You're not metastasizing it through your body, metabolizing it through your liver, so you don't get high.
Well, just so you know, we got Bill's throwing out a website address there at cannabisdigest.ca talking about cannatories. So anybody wants to know, cannabisdigest.ca, cannatory.
Right.
/
Cannatories.
Yeah. That might be I don't know who wrote the article. I'm just going to guess. I wonder if it's either maybe Owen or whether Nicholas wrote that article. So, all right, ladies, you know what time it is?
Already?
It's break time. That's right. Top of the hour.
Right.
It's actually past the top of the hour, Kim. It's dab time. All right, time for us to take that commercial break. Kim and I will continue this conversation with Danielle Degeer. You're listening or watching the Pace Radio Show here on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook and YouTube pages. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive.
The only way to go.
Hi folks, Scott from stpattiesday.com here, and we're absolutely stoked to tell you about our brand new program called Pass the Peace Pipe and our partnership with Legacy 420 out of Tyndonega. We are absolutely proud to be partners with these people. They are an amazing group that have helped so many people with their amazing cannabis medicinal products. And we are working together to gather funds to build the first ever Indigenous specific opioid addiction center here in the Bay of Quinte area on Tyndonega land. So we need your help. We need you to repost this video and go to our GoFundMe campaign, because on this October 17th, St. Patty's Day, we are going to be starting the campaign where we pass the peace pipe from one side of the country to another to unite our country, to gather awareness, but most importantly, funds to build opioid addiction centers across the nation, one build at a time.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net. Hey, welcome back, and thanks for tuning into the program. Tonight on the show, we have Kim here, who's having the dab in video, as we discussed earlier, as well as we were joined by our guest, cannabis advocate Danielle Degeer. There we go.
Smoky in here.
See, that's the advantage of video, eh?
I got caught.
You got busted. Hey, at least you're not.
It was still in the lungs. No, it was a reasonable size.
Yes, because sometimes you can end up with that coughing situation.
Oh, sometimes they're not reasonable. Yeah,
No.
sometimes they're not a reasonable size.
Yeah, I think it happens to all of us, doesn't it, Danielle?
I just this will go.
Oh shit.
Oh goodness. Oh, it's
All
funny.
Yeah.
Video.
Where did that avatar come in? Big fog. All right. All right. So we've covered Danielle's beginning, what she's doing now with creating medication with Belgium chocolates and other items. Christmas avatars. I gotta remember that. People are always looking for them at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said you got something special coming up for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of 420 different Valentine's 420 boxes and hearts with white drizzle on them, chocolate hearts with the white drizzle, almond heart chocolates as well. Very cute little gift ideas for your special loved ones if you were thinking of surprising her.
Well, yeah. Well, hey, why not?
Well, you're gonna give chocolate. Why not medicated, holistic, whole plant remedy chocolate that's actually going to benefit their health as well as taste good?
Right.
Why not?
So is this 420 milligrams per package? Like, how the government sells these things per package?
So we have the 420 milligram per package one, and then we have a 1,000 milligram package one. Each one is a little box. Each piece is 25 milligrams in each piece.
Oh, nice.
The big hearts are 175 milligrams in the whole heart. So they're really meant to be shared with your loved one if you have a lower tolerance.
Well, yeah, you know how you can you can share it probably in many ways.
Yeah. It is Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day, right?
The larger size one.
What was that?
The larger one. It is meant to be shared. It's the larger size.
Larger size. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. So it's good to know though
Very
that you
cool.
do have those lower dose, because the fact that not everybody wants a high dose edibles yet. Yes, there's a big market out there for them, but not everybody wants them.
Yeah.
Like as you're talking to seniors, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we'll even want a lower dose. So then we do have the option of getting the 10 to 15 milligram option as well. But not a lot of people often will ask for those doses.
People prefer the little bit bigger
That's
ones.
pretty low.
Yeah, but if you get it, for beginners at 10 milligrams, and if they know, they're instructed to maybe cut that in half.
Right. They like
before
that.
consuming it, then it's doable. It's it's easy to be done.
Yeah. 25 milligrams doable with that. You can cut a 25 milligram in half. You're sitting at 12. I mean, that's reasonable, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Any beginner, you would think anywhere between 10 and 15 is a regular starting point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I find 25 is a pretty good base. Most of the stuff that I do is 25 is the base. If somebody's, a 50 or 100, well, frig, eat 4 of them. They're small enough to do that, but they're large enough for the newbie to cut in half.
Right, exactly.
And probably not, we always talk about having to consume so much to get a dose. Like, if you go into a legal store, you got to buy. Some people have to go in there and buy, 80 packages to get 800 milligrams, right? And
my morning tea is 60. So what am I going to do in a store? I'll be floating down the street by 10 o'clock.
6 bags, 6 bags in each to steep it.
Right. You make a lovely milligram chocolate bar as well.
What's that?
Yeah.
You make a 1,000 milligram chocolate bar.
There you go.
It's a bar, so that's one of my favorites that I would have to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah, but see, we're old school. We're considered OGs in this situation now. Danielle, but all 3 of us here have been doing this for so long and using this plant as a medicine for so long in such high doses, and of course going through the whole distillate phase that we all went through, put all of our tolerances to the moon and back. So it takes a lot more for somebody that's been a long-standing patient, because of course you build tolerance the same as you do with any med, right? So there's a wide gap there on from newbie to long-standing patient on dosing. It seems like you guys have got it covered across the board.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to accommodate everybody's needs.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's good.
That's awesome.
But it sounds like
we need more of that.
Like you're talking about that story about that fellow, that older gentleman there. Maybe there's opportunities where you do some custom dosing.
Yep, we have got into that with a few different people. There was somebody that needed a specific amount of CBD to THC in something, so the boss did make up specific capsules that went with the client.
So basically they requested a certain ratio and they got her. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Kim, normally you get into what's the future hold in this segment?
Yeah. What's next? Yeah, like what's next for you with the company, but as well as a personal level. I mean, I'm watching your kid grow. Holy shit, that kid's growing like a bad weed. I miss y'all, man. I miss seeing her face, at the events and stuff. I miss seeing both of yous. But I watch from the sidelines, watching the pictures and the videos and stuff. And you're always doing shit, man. What's next?
I mean, still just getting on life with her and enjoying things. I mean, hopefully into a bigger and better home down the road. And but with the company, staying with it, letting it grow, it has grown substantially in the year that it has been there. And with that, hopefully my life will just continue to prosper as well, and we will get on with our forever home. And I mean, yeah, thanks.
I think they would call the company's success is your success.
Yes. I've kind of seen through to from the beginning alongside with them. I was working next door at the hydroponics store that was next door, and they came in about a month later. And within 3 months, I was kind of working over there with them next door. And
yeah, good. Now, what do you think about, being that, we started the show talking about advocacy and, the rallies and the marches in Toronto. Now, here at the end of the show, I like to touch on that as a future end of things. Somebody who participated in all that stuff. Being that things have been, we haven't been able to hold those rallies, the 420 rally, the Global Marijuana Marches rallies, stuff like that. Once things eventually open right up again, where we can do those again, do you think that they will be at the same? Do you think people will come back to those? Will they be smaller? The same things? Will they change in any ways? What do you think?
I would hope that they won't, but I could guarantee that it's probably going to be a bit smaller. It's going to be a little different. We've lost some of our major warriors that have been in the fight, in the last few years as well. So going back into it will definitely be different. Hopefully we won't, we'll see most everybody else.
And maybe the people who were, organizing or that group of people as a whole, people's lives have changed. They do different things. They've gone on to different avenues. Jobs have taken them, who knows, out of the country.
Yep. Yeah. And that's where I know it's going to be different. Unfortunately, I would hope it wouldn't be, but unfortunately, you're very true. Everything's different.
I know that.
I think we lived in a time, living through what we did, Al, you and I, for 20 years or more. For me, 40 years. That time's never coming back. It's never going to happen again.
Yeah, it's going to be all different.
It's going to be different. It's going to be very different. But I am so glad that I got to be a part of that shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nobody can take that away. We were there, man. We did this shit.
That's right.
Like, eventually the kid was going to take over the costume, and she was just going to continue on the missteps.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because
so I'm
even
thankful
though
that I got to be part of it.
It'll be different, but there's still things to fight for, to rally or protest for, however you want to call it. For improvements when it comes to cannabis. The biggest things I'm sure we can all agree on is how many times did you go to Toronto, Danielle, and not go to a lounge?
Oh my gosh.
We need to have lounges back. I'm with Lo Clark, her and Tamara there on, Canada Quebec Connection talking about lounges. I'm all for lounges. Got to come back.
Yeah, they got to come back.
Today I was thinking, what if I was going to open my own business, I would want it to be a darn lounge again, because we haven't had those so long.
That's right. Even
we could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even those, I could see them being different from what we experienced too, because of the fact of the smoke-free Ontario, at least here in Ontario. Because I know some places have talked about lounges, but they haven't materialized yet. Ted's working on something out there at the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club, but they come back. I see more because of legalization, where they could maybe you'd have like we had before, the entertainment. You could have that still, where you have your open mics, or you could have comedians or whatever. But they'll probably be serving, like this, serving things legally, like beverages or edibles, or
there won't be any smoking, and there
won't
won't be any vaping. And I'm sorry, you can call it whatever you want, but if you can't smoke and you can't vape, it's not a fucking lounge.
It's not the same. I look at it as the
because that's not technically smoking, but you just cross that off the list. So.
Yeah, I know. But vaping, dabbing, when they rolled that into smoke-free Ontario, here in the province of Ontario, we're screwed on that. I mean, other provinces may be able to see something like this materialize, but here in Ontario, as soon as they rolled vaping into the Smoke-Free Ontario Act, that wrapped it up in a big fucking bow, and that's it. That's all she wrote. You can't get around it. There's no way around it as soon as they added vaping in. And there's no way they're taking it out. They don't do that. They don't backpedal.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised, even if they allowed it.
So I think lounges are screwed here in Ontario because of that.
Okay, now when it comes to Smoke-Free Ontario Act, I know like there's the patios. Okay, there's something to do with patios.
Yeah.
Like, can you, when you go to a restaurant, you can't sit out and smoke a cigarette out on the patio, from my understanding, because you're technically, they call you in the restaurant, right? But
That's right. You can't be on the property.
And I know they had some exemption or something going on there with the hot box with the patio during some event a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But why couldn't they have people being allowed to go outside and smoke on a patio or
you gotta
patio?
stand on the street. You got to stand on the street in front of the place. Well, that's not a lounge.
It's not a lounge. Like even you go to all those expos, you still got to stand out in front of the complex in order to medicate. But the lounges, they gotta, the lounges in the past, they showed that they could regulate themselves, and many of them had air filtration systems.
Oh my God, the systems that some of these places had were, holy shit, you could run a habitat on Mars with the bloody thing. Like, I mean,
exactly.
It was amazing, the tech that went into these things. There was no issue with smoke or vape or anything like that, especially in the larger ones that they were out there. They all spent a ton of money on HVAC systems, and they couldn't be faulted on that front. There's no way. I don't know why Smoke Free went after this. I think it was Ontario's way of trying to control cannabis, because they did it just before legalization. This came in because of legalization. Is why vaping was added. And it was Ontario's attempt to control cannabis consumption in the province. And that's why it got stuck in there. It was done on purpose. But we had lounges up the wazoo in this in this province, everywhere, especially in the city of Toronto. And not just cannabis. Another segment of the population that got hit with that was the Sikh and the hookah lounges.
The hookah lounges.
All the hookah lounges had to close. So now you've got a member of the Sikh community, and a lot of them use that for like ritual and that kind of thing, And no, you're not allowed to no more. Even for religious purposes and stuff. All the hookah bars closed. There's no more shisha bars or hookah bars or anything in the province of Ontario. All gone because of Smoke-Free Ontario. So it wasn't just the cannabis community. There's many segments of our population that got hit with that.
Yep. No spot for the patients to travel to when they go to Toronto for medical appointments.
That's right. Somebody like me, I go down there, and if I'm staying in a hotel or an Airbnb, well, there's no smoking there. So I'm supposed to stand outside at minus, 20 degrees and consume my medicine, 12 times a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Danielle, like, would you be in that type of situation where you would travel to the city out of town, having to deal with appointments of some kind, and
I yeah, because I know a couple of people in Toronto, I would be able to go and at least shelter at their place. Thank goodness, aka people from the community.
Right.
For I mean, no, it was always the vapor lounges that we would go to and socialize and meet everybody there. The shows that would happen, the between comedy shows, burlesque shows, all of the different amazing shows and different things that I got to experience that I would have never experienced in the small little town that I live in, right? Actually, I'm pretty sure you're from around that same area or around the small area.
Yeah, I'm still in that area. Well, I'm a little bit northeast. I moved out of Campbellford. I'm
Okay.
no longer in Trent Hills.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm over here in Marmora now.
oh, alrighty. See, so I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, always the Trent Hills area for me. So going into this,
I was in there for over 40 years and educating people about cannabis. Now they're complaining about too many stores in Campbellford, and over here in Marmora, yeah, they got three stores on the go, and over here in Marmora where I moved to, they opted out.
Yeah.
So no stores.
He doesn't have no stores where he is.
Yeah, and then after they opted out, we had this guy who opened up a head shop here, and he was here for almost a year, and then he took a delegation to the local council and asked to get to be able to opt in so he could have cannabis in the store and expand his business. They spent an hour and 15 minutes talking to the town, which included 2 licensed producers and 3 OCS representatives and himself. And after that hour and 15 minutes, they spent about, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes discussing it, asked questions such as, oh, you're from Aurora, Canada. Isn't your financial situation a little bad right now? Like, what the hell does that have to do with the store? Asking, like, do they ask the guy at Value Mart if Weston's is going to go broke? Like, what the fuck? It's got nothing to do with the store. So they discussed it for 8 minutes, and then they said no. Again, with different excuses. So no consistency.
They just don't want it.
No,
they
like
just don't want it. There's somebody on your table that doesn't want it. And
you can buy a cannabis. You can buy a cannabis T-shirt at the hardware store. You can buy a bong at the gas station. You can grow your own cannabis, or you go out of town and buy it. So why ban it for selling it here? All they did was stop an entrepreneur from making some money and supplying patients that are in our town that could have had access to it. So this day in my rant.
Every time Al gets an opportunity to bash his town, he does. So
yeah, well, it was one of those things where I went into, because I had only just moved here when they did the vote, and I thought, okay, whatever the survey says, I'm fine with that. If the survey says whatever the citizens decide, I'm fine with that, right? So the citizens in the survey, it came back 74.4% in favor of the retail stores.
Yeah.
So basically 3/4% of the people who did the survey said yes.
Yeah, they all want it. The town wants it. Just this guy on council doesn't, and he's calling all the shots, and everybody else is following along.
Yeah, Economic Development Committee said, yeah, do it. But according to one newspaper report, it said that a couple of businesses and citizens had concerns. A couple.
One guy, and he's telling everybody else what to say. It's always one guy. In all these small towns, when this kind of shit goes on, I've lived in so many small towns. Every single time it comes down to one guy.
One guy. Yeah,
And
well,
he's calling the shots.
yeah. So you gotta head north. You gotta head north from where you are. Come election time, I think it's this fall. And we gotta make changes here in Marmora. But that's enough of Marmora. So
That's enough of Marmora.
That's right. As far as yourself, Danielle, as you said, you mentioned the success of the store is what you're looking to do in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, raise a kid, keep doing what I'm doing there, enjoy life, get together with my canna family again, eventually be able to give them big hugs and get back to some camping.
Yeah, camping. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Kim, you got any more questions
yes.
before we get into the shout out here?
I got a gazillion stuff. I could sit and talk to Danielle all night, especially about old times and past events and shit. We didn't even cover any of that, and there was so much ground we could have covered there. Danielle will have you back on again in the future, maybe come spring, when we have some changes in life, and maybe we'll actually be able to do a sit-down in-person interview if we're all allowed to get the hell back outside again someday. I'm looking forward to doing it again with you.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think there was a picture. Did you not use in the picture for the poster for tonight's broadcast, Kim? A picture of you and me, and you and me interviewing Danielle on the street during a rally.
I think it was at an Indigenous Cup, if I'm not mistaken. That was taken at Indigenous Cannabis Cup a couple of years back. And we were sticking microphones and cameras in Danielle's face.
There you go. All right. So shout out time. Person, place, a thing. If you got more than one or two, feel free. If you've already mentioned it during the broadcast, don't worry. Mention it again.
I mean, shout out to all the Canna family that has always been there for me. Chelsea, Grandma D, all those wonderful people. Naomi. I mean, two of the other ones are right here, sitting here. Also, keep in memory always Sam, Tracy, Shane, all those wonderful people that carried us along the way, and all the warriors that have been through here.
You mentioned quite a few there that we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Kim, or actually, did you want to throw out your website address again, Danielle?
Yeah.
So that is greenvalley.co, and then the discount code is Miss Dabs 10.
Miss Dabs. Okay, Miss Dabs 10 gives you a 10% discount.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Nice. Sweet.
Kim?
I'm gonna do a little selfish shout out tonight. I'm gonna give a shout out to a little company that I got formed on. I'm expanding my skills in podcasting into other realms besides cannabis. I'm looking at focusing on life in Northern Ontario. There's several podcasts in the works that are going to take place on Rumble. You can check out NOK Production Company on Rumble. We have our first podcast is up and running called What's Up, Northern Ontario? And I talk to people in the area about life in the North and what's affecting us. Our second show happens tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Rumble, where I will be speaking to one of our local doctors about our current situation in life.
Is this the one that we were talking about once before to me about off-grid living?
That's another podcast that's going to be coming to NOK Productions. Off-grid living is something that my husband and I are going to do, and we're going to document and show everybody what it's like to move into the middle of a farmer's field and try and build a house.
I hope you got the septic tank floating in video.
So we got some plate spinning at Knock Productions Company. I'm launching on Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm also got a YouTube page as well as a Facebook page. Look up Knock Production Company and give us a look and see what life is going on in Northern Ontario.
That's
All
all.
right. All righty. Okay, just let everybody know that Kim and I will be back next week with our special guests. I'm just waiting on a confirmation from the person. Other than that, you can find the Pace Radio Network on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, obviously. We're on Instagram, and you can find us on the web at paceradio.net. Thank yous go to our sponsors, bmahydroponics.com, legacy420.com, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, as well as drbuckscts.com, which is Dr. Buck's Cannabis Trimming Solutions. And thank you, Danielle, for coming on here on the broadcast and joining us tonight.
Thank you both for having me. I mean, it's been so long. Love seeing your faces.
Yes, this is like one of those broadcasts we've talked to some of the other people. It's, we haven't been able to get together in person. So we're getting everybody together here on the show so we can, get together and talk, right?
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Other than that, Kim, thank you as always.
Thanks, Al.
And to everybody else, our listeners and our watchers, good night and thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponic superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive.
The only way to go.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.